talk to you about what to do when you get that negative comment on social media. I am sure you've had this and it will totally bug you. And even if you have dozens of positive comments, that one negative comment can be really frustrating. So aside from that, when you are a clinician, those negative comments can actually be harmful, spreading misinformation, disinformation, especially in this environment of the pandemic that is still happening as I'm recording this. So what do you do with harmful comments? That's what I want to talk about. Now, as I'm recording this, this is the week that the Pfizer vaccine is finally eligible for kids ages 5 to 11. So yay, this mom of a 10-year-old is thrilled. But what that also meant is that as we've been putting content out for my clients and as all of you have been putting out content, I'm sure some of you have seen what I have seen, which are some very harmful comments on your content. So when that is inaccurate and can be angry, I'm not talking about someone who's asking questions, but things that are inaccurate, misinformation, and I don't think that most people on your pages are posting disinformation, but definitely misinformation that is coming from a place of fear and distrust, and what do you do with that when it shows up on your page? Now, if you are not a physician posting content like that, I'm sure you've had this in whatever area of healthcare that you are in, where people are spreading things that you do not agree with, and it's a comment on your content. So what do you do? Now, you could, depending on the platform, just hit delete. But I want to just warn you about some ways to deal with it that don't require you to delete it, and you actually might not want to. So what do you do with negative comments on your social media content? The first is, if you are on Facebook, for example, where you can actually delete comments, I recommend not deleting it. Now, there's a few reasons for that. When you delete someone's comment, if they notice, they're likely to comment that you have deleted their comment and you are not open to having discourse, which is certainly not accurate. Secondly, people likely will come to defend you. So that's what happened yesterday on a post for one of my clients, where we posted about the vaccine and someone posted misinformation, and other followers came in to defend the safety of the vaccines on behalf of my client. That was their response there. And so if we had deleted that comment, then their responses would have still been visible, and it would have been obvious that we deleted it. So that's the first thing. Secondly, what I recommend doing is respond. Now, in your response, I recommend that having the attitude that less is more. The reason you should post less than diving into all of their points and trying to argue it is that they're most likely, if they're leaving a comment that's got misinformation or is angry, they're not open to discussion. So you want to post something for the sake of other people who see it, so that they see your stance, but in a way that doesn't open a whole can of worms of discussion with the original person who posted the negative comment. So here's an example of one that I used yesterday in regard to the safety of the vaccine. We're happy to address any concerns regarding the safety of these vaccines if you would like to call our office. There's a lot of misinformation online that we can discuss. We are acutely aware of the rigorous process for these studies on vaccine trial data, and we are confident in the safety of the vaccine. That's what we used. You're welcome to steal it. Another thing that you can do is, instead of getting into an argument in the comments, is just continue to post accurate information in your content. So on your social media, on your website, things like frequently asked questions, and that way you can always point people to content you've already created. This can reduce phone calls, which can be really helpful, but it shows that you are a resource for the common questions and concerns that people have about whatever area of expertise that you are talking about that prompted the negative comment. Now, finally, what do you do when things do get out of hand? So you've done your best not to engage with this person, but still there's a whole back and forth happening on your page regarding something you care about, and it's full of inaccurate information and you want to shut it down. So if, for example, you are on Facebook and you are in a group, you can turn off comments. But there is a way that you can also do this on your page. If you go to the actual post where the comment is and you click on the three dots in the right hand corner, you can actually change the setting of who can comment on that post. So you can change the settings so that only people who you've tagged can comment. That way, you are not going to have a bunch of people in the peanut gallery able to continue the conversation. If you're going to do that, I recommend adding a comment yourself that lets people know that you're turning off comments for this post. And finally, on Facebook, again, one thing that I recommend that you do is change the settings for your page so that people cannot post profanity. And if you have a keyword that people tend to use that is sharing misinformation or disinformation or spam, you can add that word as something that will be flagged by Facebook and it will not go up. So just to give you an example of how I use this, I have a client who has the word illuminate in their title. So we would get tons of spammy comments from the Illuminati. So I went into their settings on their Facebook page and I entered all those words that those folks are using to promote whatever it is that they're offering. And now we no longer have those and I don't have to go through and delete those manually. So I hope that helped. Thank you so much for watching. And if you found this helpful, please share it and be sure to hit subscribe so that you are able to catch all of my videos. Bye.